What it is, y'all, it is your old boy Pilk, and I'm coming back at you tonight with, well, something I promised you on Friday. Sorry about that. Just, personal life got a little busy there. We had a couple little personal emergencies to deal with, but we're back. Let's talk about it. This is the heroic trial for OUKA, Priestess, and Cowgirl, okay? Now, we talked about this a little bit, but we never really actually were able to S-clear it, so I've got my team pretty much set up here to do the S-clear, and I'm going to do one quick change here. I'm going to move Mikasa. Mikasa's a really good unit for this, but I've gotten just more significant damage out of Aisha. Call me crazy, I've just gotten better damage out of her. So, we're going to go in here, we're going to talk about this, and we're going to S-clear. Now, I probably could do it with Mikasa, but I've already done this route. Mikasa isn't really going to come into play here. It's just kind of a backup unit. Priestess isn't really going to do a whole lot. What Priestess is going to do, she's going to come in. She's going to do her 33% what we normally do with Line, and then she's going to leave. Everybody else, you want to put a taunt anklet on. You want a taunt anklet. Well, Aisha admittedly doesn't need it, but I put one on her anyway just because it's easier to set up that way. Okay? Now, OUKA will taunt, and he is going to be a pain when he taunts, but first, I want to start hammering away on Priestess, because OUKA is going to get a lot of... we're going to basically be doing a lot of retaliatory attacks on him, so his health bar is going to go down a lot faster, but first, we need to start doing our buffs and debuffs, okay? So we're just going to go do the stack right now, and get this started. There we go. Now, so that 33% is now in play. Unfortunately, Aisha is not going to benefit from that, but she already has the 100%, so it's not going to be that big of a deal. Wish we could do a little better for it, but it's just a thing, guys. It is just a thing. All right? Now, removing those strength buffs is going to be really important. I want to do more debuffs, and I want to go ahead and just get working on doing damage. Pardon me, I'm still a little sniffly. We're not 100% over it, but working on it. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and do all those buffs. Now we've got basic attacks going on with Goblin Slayer and with Katori. And I'm going to go ahead and do our buff debuff replication here for this turn. And then next turn, we're going to go ahead and do Haruhime's, her SA skill. You can kind of see where this is going. It's not a dissimilar method. It's just really kind of trying to deal with OUKA's taunts. Okay? Now, once again, I want to basically make sure I'm targeting Priestess as often as possible. Because you can see we're already kind of working on wearing OUKA down. And when it comes to, we should get 2 good SAs out of our units. When that happens, we want to make sure we're hitting the right people and taking people down with them. So, that is that. Geosurge this turn. Actually, you know what? Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it. We're going to go do Geosurge. It's going to be a bigger hit, but it's not going to be her best possible hit still. It's going to be good stuff. Alright. So that does mean we'll have to do our buff debuff for application next turn. That's the number one reason you need a taunt anklet on Haruhime. Because if you don't, she's not going to be able to do that. So she needs that taunt anklet desperately. Pardon me. Goblin Slayer really needs his taunt anklet because he needs it to do his debuffs. Otherwise, first turn you'll get taunted and you're going to be in a world of hurt. Alright. Now you can start to see where Priestess is going to fall apart. I'm going to do the MP heal for Katori. Because I don't want to run out of MP. I'm going to go ahead and do that and that. Let's go. Now, the one thing to be aware of, when Aisha does her big main attack, she removes her strength buff, so we just have to do that other turn to restore her strength buff, and then kind of go back at this. Now, unfortunately, the reality is Aisha is going to run out of, basically, damage to produce before the end of this. She's going to not really be producing on the level we want her to by the end of all these runs. Alright, now, With this SA, I'm going to go ahead and target OUKA. Just because, like, we want to wear him down a little more. Now, Priestess will probably be gone by turn 9 just with basic attacks. OUKA, on the other hand, we're going to have to work on a little bit. OUKA's an interesting case. Alright. We'll have to do that and that and that. Now, normally in the circumstance, you would think kind of, okay, it's going to be a little bit better to take out one unit and then work on a final one. Yes and no. The thing is, remember, the longer they're alive, the longer they're attacking, the more of those retaliation attacks you're going to be producing on them. Alright? And those attacks are going to come in super handy. Okay? Okay, support, we're going to go back and do Geosurge, Carmel, and... Okay, Camille, however the hell you pronounce it. Caramel. And then Smash Attack. Okay? And we're basically just going to spam Harahime's buff replication skill because we're just going to need that more than anything else. Now, on this turn, the goal is to get rid of Priestess because we're going to get an SA next turn. And if we can wipe her out this turn, everything is going to be focused on OUKA next turn. Alright, just the opposite I said last time. Now this time, I want to make sure that Goblin Slayer is doing his main attack on OUKA. The reason I'm using Goblin Slayer and not anyone else in this circumstance is because Goblin Slayer is going to have that 50% debuff to, I say 50% debuff, but it's a debuff on the already 30% reduction on Dark Skill and 45% reduction on physical. So Goblin Slayer is going to be our number 1 when it comes to doing damage to these guys. Okay? Remember I said Aisha is going to be out of turns? Aisha is now out of turns. So if we can then get rid of OUKA this turn, well, I say get rid of OUKA in the SA, then everyone else is going to be hitting Priestess, and I think she'll be gone. We should effectively S-clear this. Now, I know we're not as clean on the wins here as we were in the last one. There we go. Okay. It was a little bit down to the wire, but you can start to see there why I chose this. Now, honestly, if my Aisha had any more dupes in her, she'd done way better at this. We probably could have cleared that in turn 8. But, you know, it's a thing. So the key is here, when I'm doing this, all single attack units, mostly because, remember, there's all that taunting going on. Taunt anklets on everybody. If you're not familiar with how the taunt anklet works, because once again, some videos, everybody's first video. If you're going to change equip, go to armor. You want to choose one of these glorious anklets, and you got to have one that has taunt resist 100%. If you don't know how to produce those, go to the blacksmith, go to crafting, go to armor. Okay? You can craft a glorious anklet here, and I got tons of them, so I can just craft one real quick. And it's going to have different attributes to it. Okay? There's sleep, there's stun, there's taunt, there's that's one sleep. You can then just craft a whole bunch of these. How you get those medals is basically you have to get those from beating record busters. So, once again, make sure you're doing your record busters. But that is kind of that, guys. It's pretty easy, pretty straightforward. I didn't do AoE units because I found that I get better damage out of single target attack units that then have a lot of retaliation. So make sure that you're doing that. Other than that, guys, that is the video. Let me know what you thought in the comment section down below. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Follow my bird and hit me up on Booker. I can't even talk anymore. I'm just so stuffed up. I'll see you guys for the stream.